Nerd could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd could rise up. It could get elevated.
Nerk me out of the Marvel TV nightly. Besides the green Hulk, swing, swing, swing the spinning hammer. You wear those shoes and I will wear that armor. Oh, nerk me beneath my zoomy twilight. Lead me out on the nerky floor. Lift your open mic, strike up the Discord chat, and make the K-Sig dance. I don't know this part, but Chof's beer is sparkling, so nerk me.
So
Not that he drinks sparkly beer.
he does. He's just not going to let us know about it.
He'll probably post it in his beer hall at some point. Chofy. So chof me.
Probably the best Romeo and Juliet movie ever.
Yes, I would agree.
I liked it a lot.
I like that one too.
We should. Oh, let's go ahead and do our intro.
We should probably do that too. So welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we are two 30 to 40-something-year-olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And you guys can also catch us live and in person on the Twitch, mostly on Saturday night and a little bit more through the week. We're playing a lot of indie horror games, and I have tricked Guyver into playing Slipgate with me some. So we're doing some pew-pew and some screamings. You can catch Chris over here on Twitch as GUYVERUNT01, Guyver Unit 01. And then I'm K-Sig. It's a lot easier, K_SIG. Come hang out. That's like some fun time for like live interaction with us, with you guys. So if you guys listen to us and then coming back, and then we have to go back and look in the Discord, which you also should be joining. The link for that's down in the bio. Lots of good conversation going on in that. Comics, movies, anime, hobbies,
Fantasy football right
now. So there's lots of stuff happening in that Discord. Conversations popping off every day. So you guys hop in that, join up, agree to the rules, and geek out with us.
And Kyle and I joined the Fantasy Football League. Like, I'm more into college, and even then that's kind of stretching it for me. Just, not my thing. But I joined just to be, because it's what the community wanted, part of the community.
It'll be
so
fun.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I will preference, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I used to do a lot of fantasy stuff. The sports, not like.
I'm a level 90 wizard. Come check my wand, young orc.
I'm a level 68 unicorn. Let's go level up.
Ooh, zog.
I used to do fantasy baseball and basketball and football and some pick'ems and stuff, but it's been long. I don't watch anything anymore. I got the cable, like 3 years ago. And so
don't miss it.
I don't. But the only thing that I miss out of that is like the ability to watch sports when I wanted to. Like it wasn't often. I'd watch a few games a year of this and that, but now I can't. I could, but I'm not going to pay for some freaking package that I'm not going to watch that often.
I don't blame you.
I already pay for enough shit that I don't use. So,
like your wiener.
It's
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm just saying I got a budget wiener. That's cool. I ordered it off of Wish.
Wiener. Yeah. So
good old
yeah,
Wish.
you guys join up. You guys join up. It's a lot of fun. We're trying to grow this community. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good people. And if you're not into something, that's the whole purpose of this podcast, is we're just trying to
we'll get you into something.
We'll get you into something. Like
yeah.
We'll do a whole bunch of podcasts on just different stuff that people are into. And that's the whole point of it. You may not be into it now, but you may discover, oh, I kind of like this, or I wanted to know more about it, and we'll go in depth into it. These, what we're doing right now, are Nerkies. So it's not really, it's stuff that people are into. but it's not like our OC.
Yeah.
What are we doing on this, Kyle? What's a Nerkie?
This is just our review stuff. It started off as like a quickie, a nerd quickie. We were going to briefly cover all this new stuff that's coming out, mostly from Marvel. A little, and like what 90% of it's from Marvel. We did do Bad Batch though, so there was
still Disney.
It's still Disney. It's still all under the same umbrella. The mouse has control over all of it, but we go through either the movie or the episode. And if it's a series, we'll take it episode by episode, and we try to go scene by scene, break it down, give our thoughts on it. This has been fun. The what if has been pretty fun because it's some things that like we would talk about anyway. And it's cool because, and you brought it up in the last couple episodes, that there's no like backstory. There's nothing really to feed. I mean, there's a backstory up to a point in each episode. And then there's the turning point. Something changes, something's different. What if this happens? So the last couple episodes were really cool. The last one was really good. This one I had a blast with it.
I had a good time with this one.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I was fucking lost till about 14, 15 minutes into it. Not lost. I just didn't know what to think, what to expect. And Kyle called it.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't spoil that for me, though.
So
that I called it. But you go ahead and say that I called it, though. Again, I like hearing that.
Kyle called it.
Now I don't want to hear it anymore.
Fatality.
Well, I semi-called it. I got the name wrong. I was tired.
No, you pretty much called it. Like you were a lot further than I was in it.
Yeah.
So with that, let's start the new episode 3 of What If. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? So we all know its mightiest heroes are the Avengers from the MCU.
Mr. Clean, Tony the Tiger,
Mr. Clean, Roland Chang.
Roland Chang, Powder.
Jenny.
Jenny.
No, it was Brittany.
It was Brittany, bitch. That's
it. Brittany, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to go back and clip some of that. Yeah, so I like the animation style in this. I like that it's staying consistent.
Yeah, I do too.
I kind of thought when they were going to do it, I mean, this is basically an anthology series. I mean, it is an anthology series. That they would probably, like, it would be a different style each episode, which could have been cool, but I'm glad that there's this.
You mean like how they do those, like with the different directors? Yeah.
Yeah. Like you'd have a little bit of a different style. Like, what's the one show you got me watching? The Love and Robots? Yeah, Love, Death and Robots. I haven't watched the second season yet, but
I haven't gotten through the second season because it's not as good as the first.
I like the first one.
Second one's kind of me. So we start off with, it says Monday, we see Fury. And says this is an idea to bring together a group of the world's mightiest heroes. And then we see Natasha Romanoff.
Yeah, looking bored.
She's like to see if they could be something more. I know I've heard the speech, and Fury's, he's just talking to her. And obviously, we're talking about the Avengers Initiative. And then we see that scene where Tony was that at the end of 2, I think, where he was sitting in the donut?
I think so.
I think so too. So
was it a post-credit?
Yeah, I think it was post-credit.
Yeah. I think all these were no, they're not all the post-credit. Never mind.
I can't remember, but I remember seeing this somewhere, but he's sitting inside the donut just eating there. What Fury's like, what he's got is a hangover. You see Tony Stark up there just eating the donut. Or no, maybe it was the end of 1. I don't remember.
Was there post credits in Iron Man?
Yes, there was. Okay, no, the post credit in Iron Man was where Coulson talks to you. I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Okay, so it wasn't
Coulson.
It wasn't the donut.
It wasn't the donut. This was somewhere though. I cannot place it, but I can recall it.
Here's your cover right here. You're sitting in the donut. You can swap like your face on Tony, and then I can be the helmet. Just my head down there. Yeah,
I can do that.
Chris is Kyle, man. Yeah.
I am Kyle, man.
If you don't
It's
do
just
that
your-
for Halloween, I'm going to be really upset.
It's just your beard.
Yeah.
So Tony is stalking. Well, I mean,
Hmm?
Fury technically is stalking.
So
And
he's
go
like,
ahead.
filling him in on what the initiative is. And then he gets stabbed in the neck. What do you say it was? Lithium dioxide?
Yeah, it's to take the edge off.
Mm-hmm. And it did, because you see him face plant in the floor.
And he's dead.
Mhm.
And if you look, he's got this, like his veins, there's this blue stuff coming out of his veins where he got stabbed.
Well, that
Or
was
he got
before.
shot.
No, go back. That happened before.
Oh, did it?
Yep. Look, you see, look at
Oh,
his
it
neck
is. It is, isn't it?
before. Mhm.
Okay,
So-
she got him on the other side.
Yeah, was that from, did he have that in the movie? What was that from?
I don't remember. We need to rewatch these.
I don't know if I can go through the full MCU lineup again.
I don't know if I can right now either.
Yeah.
There's no time.
So yeah, Stark face plants. Romanoff's like, shit.
She's like, maybe I shouldn't have given him that.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, we see the Watcher is sitting there and he's just doing his little thing right now. I said, inside 1 week, 3 strange stories unfolded. A genius battles his demons inside and out. It shows Tony battling Whiplash from Iron Man 2.
Yes, this is right after 2.
Then we see the Hulk. While the world met the monster, riding the man, and a godly prince fell to earth. And we see Thor.
And it says, I am the Watcher. Okay, so the time frame of this, I'll pause real quick, because this started with it saying, Monday. And if you guys haven't already watched this episode of What If, we're going to spoil the shit out of things. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here because it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like it breaks up into days. And so is that trying to say that the events of all these, so you had the end of Iron Man 2, you have Thor, and you have Hulk.
All in the same week,
All in the
according to
same
this.
week. Did we know that before?
Mm-mm.
Was it supposed to be that way before? Because that would have been a hectic week.
I don't know if they just retconned this or not, but okay.
Because I'm really confused now.
Technically, I bet it did happen within a week, but now that if you think about this logically, once Tony died, you don't know if they sped it up for the other candidates.
Well, yeah, but still, Thor's event was
Yeah, that coincided.
It wasn't related to anything. Yeah, that was just a coincidence in this world.
Well, then you know that Edward Norton's Hulk, which was way earlier than all the rest of these movie-wise, coincides with the timeline now.
Oh, that was the Hulk scene coming up is the Ed Norton Hulk stuff. It's not
Eric, not
Mark
Eric Bana.
Ruffalo. Okay.
So yeah,
I thought something seemed off about that, and I couldn't. I'm a terrible nerd.
you're just tired and you're a little hungover from last night.
A little bit. I almost drank all of my whiskey
So
last night. That was a thing that happened.
it was a thing. But then you see Natasha and Clint fighting the aliens at the end of Avengers. You see the big picture of all the Avengers together.
From the things played out in one universe, says the Watcher. Now we're on Tuesday.
Ooh, how about Tuesday?
Taco
and then
Tuesday. Or
Taco.
This should have happened on Thursday.
Torco Tuesday.
I'm pissed that this didn't happen on a Thursday. Now that I think
Or
about
Thursday.
it. Thursday.
Well, it's because that's what it's named after.
That's his day. Thursday is his day. Yeah.
Thor's Day. But then you see Thor's hammer, and we see this door open, and out pops Natasha, surrounded by 4 dudes. And Kyle, do you recognize any of them?
They look kind of like
Who's the dude on the left?
Dude on the left looks super familiar. He looks like the one that was fighting with was at the end of
You know this one.
the second Avengers when they were fighting at Shield headquarters.
Mm.
I can't think of his name.
You're on the right track. It's Frank Grillo.
Okay.
Actually, is his voice. Looks exactly like him. Frank Grillo, who is, I forget his character's name in here. Look that up real quick. But it is, he's Crossbones in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh,
and then
okay.
And then he is the one that's really close to the special ops team with Steve in Winter Soldier.
Okay.
If you remember he was the one on the elevator next to him and everything else.
Let me see. So they created. I need to pull the IMDb that up.
But this is the team this is the Hydra team that betrayed Steve.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. You knew where I was going.
Yep. And then Natasha's in cuffs, and she's like, I may not have been a fan of Tony Stark's, but I didn't kill him. And Natasha's like, I didn't kill him. And Fury's like, here, let me talk to her for a minute. Let me back it up because this is kind of important. She goes, this isn't me. Fury goes, I know that, but S.H.I.E.L.D. has protocols, so my hands, like yours, are tied. And she's like, these won't hold me. And he's like, oh, I'm counting on it. So Fury's always got a plan. He hands her something. And he knows it's not Natasha because he was with her. And he's like, I need someone from the outside to find out who killed Steve or Tony. They get in the vehicle, and she has an entire box truck full of guys guarding her. If that tells you how dangerous Natasha is.
Mm-hmm. Extremely dangerous.
Extremely. Kind of hot. She's trying to talk to him, and they're all just looking forward. No one's paying attention to her. She goes, Scott, you guys are gonna find. You hear this click. She goes, here, will you hold these for me? And this guy next to her goes, of course. And then he grabs her handcuffs, and then she just starts beating the shit out of every dude in this van. So anyone who ever says, the Widow isn't that great, she is literally just demolishing this entire truck full of special force guys.
That really paralleled the elevator scene.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a lot.
Except they didn't even get punches in on this one.
Mm-mm. No, she kicked all the ass. Like there was no ass left to kick.
No. They stop the truck. They go to the back. She's gone. Next thing you know, we're in New Mexico where we see the Hammer and we see Barton. And now we're mirroring Thor.
Yep.
And, you see the shield guards walking outside and they're starting to get taken out. And this is just literally just mirroring Thor right now.
Mm-hmm. I was reading something here, and we'll get to it in a sec. Okay, yeah, it's something that's coming up.
So guards, again, I could go in more detail, but it's the same.
It's just replaying it basically, but animated.
And go ahead.
I still like Fury's line. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yep.
Then we see Coulson, and I was so happy. Like I knew we were going to see him, but like in his short amount of time in the whole MCU, everything.
Yep.
Which was very short now because we just keep adding movies and adding movies. Still one of my favorite characters of all time.
Yeah,
hands down. And so I was just super happy to see him again. It's like, oh.
And this is probably one of my favorite things ever comes from this episode.
Oh, yeah? Or is it like right now?
No. It's later.
Okay.
When Natasha needs a password.
Oh, I must have missed something then.
You major missed it if you don't know what I'm talking about.
When we get to it, I'll probably, if I rewatch.
I died laughing at this one.
When we rewatch. Oh, yeah. I remember now. I remember. Yep. So, but we're at the point where Coulson, he lays eyes on Thor. What does he say? He says, I have a visual on the intruder. He's a Caucasian male, mid-20s with He pauses. Really great hair.
He does.
He goes, excuse me? And I was like, it's an accurate description. Sir, he's gorgeous. Like,
It's
I freaking
awesome.
died. I was laughing
I
my
did
ass
too.
off.
Well, then the next part after this,
Mhm.
all of a sudden you see, he said, I need eyes in the sky, Barton. So this mirrors Thor.
Yep.
You know, Barton has his bow trained on him. And then it's this part here. When he's walking, talked about how gorgeous he is. If you look, he has the Chris Evans or the Chris Hemsworth walk too.
Yeah. The
very stock. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
bump, bump, bump.
But then he's
I
walking,
am Thor,
the
Thor,
lightning
Thor.
kind of flashes.
Do you think he says that in his
it's-
head each time he takes a step? He's just like Thor, Thor,
Thor,
Thor,
Thor,
Thor,
Thor,
Thor, Thor, Thor.
Thor!
Mhm.
Probably.
Maybe.
So I do love this part where his hair is all wet, and then he kind of does the hair whip with it.
But you're just gonna leave it at the part where his hair's all wet.
All wet.
Like Barton. Coulson wasn't lying.
Yeah. So
It's amazing.
okay, his hair is, for those of you drag race fans, so I know who was I talking about? Was it Fee maybe? I can't remember. Someone in our Discord watches Drag Race. It's like Scarlet Envy's hair. I will show you a picture later. Scarlet Envy has the prettiest natural hair I've ever seen on a man or a woman ever.
I just wish I still had enough hair to do that.
Just shave some off and put it on top of your head.
So tell him, like every time you cut it off, just stick it back on, like in the spots where it's not there.
Just glue it.
Mhm.
So next thing you know, something happens and Barton releases his arrow and it shoots Thor through the heart.
Yep. He shot a little too early and then he immediately goes into the defense. I swear this never happened before.
We've all done that.
Like, listen here, Hawkeye.
Well, at least he hit his mark.
I mean, yeah,
We-
he hit the shot, but
We might have all shot it early, but at least we hit the mark.
he got his.
He did get his, so I guess that's what matters.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things.
Yes, ladies, is there any wonder why it took us so long for any woman to talk to us?
Yep. Still amazed.
I'm still amazed.
So then you got Barton locked up in the cell.
And he's mumbling, I didn't fire.
I didn't shoot. As for any word on the intruder, he's dead. I'm surprised that he died so easy. But I guess
That's what I don't get either. But they did make him mortal. After he lost his hammer, they made him
that's
mortal,
right.
remember?
I'm thinking back, yeah, because when he fell to Earth, he didn't have all his oomph.
They
Yeah,
made him mortal.
Yeah, I mean, he was still, badass for mortal, but he
None of his
wasn't,
godly strength or an invulnerability or anything.
Mhm.
He had no magics to protect him.
Mm-mm.
They said, what's the word on our intruder? Dead. His blood samples are to be believed he's almost 1,000 years old and not of this world.
Be right back.
So they said, first Stark, now Muscle Beach. And there's like, Barton's sticking to his story. Won't talk to anyone. He goes, he'll talk to me. So Fury goes in the cell. Barton's just got his head down. It's like, wake up, Sleeping Beauty. He kicks him. He goes, Barton. Barton falls over, and Barton is dead.
DRT. He's dead right there.
DRT. Dead
Dead
right
right there.
there.
Mhm.
He's going, stay with me, stay with me. They look, Barton's dead.
Mhm.
And like, we're running this cyanide or a talk screen to see if it was cyanide capsule. And Fury's like, no, he had a wife and kids.
So they're talking about like if he would have popped it himself.
Yep.
The old fake
He's
teeth
like, nope.
trick.
He's like, nope. He wouldn't have done that. No signs of struggle, no entry wounds. We have a space corpse that looks like a Chippendales dancer rotting over on the next table. And Coulson goes down and he sniffs him. Even while rotting, he smells like lavender. And Fury goes, really? And he sniffs. Like, I don't know why, but I love Coulson so much. He was sniffing Thor.
Like he was just the the deadpan, like he was the straight guy with a comedy, just like dead on. Well, he wasn't, no, because he had the jokes, but his delivery was just dead on with everything.
Well, and this captures it too. Like Fury leaves and Coulson goes and sniffs him again.
Mm-hmm. They're still doing it really good. I've said this before like many times. Marvel is so good at injecting humor into their movies and now their shows without hitting you in the face with something that's supposed to be funny.
Right.
And they're carrying it right through this.
So next thing you know, we are at university.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Natasha go, Dr. Ross, not sure if you remember me. So now we know where we're at. We're at the university where Betty was, where the many fight scenes have been.
Mm-hmm.
A lot in the Marvel universe. And that's Betty Ross, Hulk's girlfriend, later his wife.
When I first saw, I had false hope when I first saw the exterior of the college, because it, like, for like a split second, then I was like, no, never mind. I thought it was X-Men related, like just brief, like, oh, they're going to do that now.
It kind of looks like the X-Men campus. Yep. Oh, I agree.
It's thundering outside. My dog's going nuts.
Oh, you're getting thunder?
Yeah.
Lucky. From the hurricane, probably.
Yeah, that just thundered hard. So.
Nothing here. Send it my way. I don't want to.
Hopefully I don't lose power.
So anyway, Natasha goes, well, let's hurry this up then.
Yeah.
Natasha goes, I'm not here about the green guy. I'm here about someone else. And Betty's like, what? By whom? And she goes, me, or at least someone trying to make it look that way using this, and hands her the little injector that she used on Tony. But Betty's like, why'd you come to me? She's like, you're an expert in tactical applications of cellular biology. She's like, okay, why are you really here? And she's like, you're really good at keeping off of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s radar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real reason. Betty's looking at it. She's like, the injector's clean. There's no traces of lethal pathogens of any kind.
Where she's trying to do all of her secret research, sure does have a lot of windows where people can see in from wherever. Because that shot
That is true. I never noticed that.
You're trying to be covert. Like, you're really good at staying off the radar here in your damn aquarium that you're doing your research in.
Blub, 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 blub,
Everybody can see you, ma'am.
blub, 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 blub.
Whoop, whoop.
So she says, your injector's clean. There's no traces. I had a nip. She said, whatever it wasn't biological. Your antidote didn't even make it out of the syringe. The syringe is damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Looks to me like a tiny projectile of some kind was fired out of the needle. Would she say you're talking nanobots?
Mm-hmm. As soon as she said nanotech, that's where I came to my conclusion. Like, bam.
And then we look here, and she sees the Stanley's Pizza Parlor, and she's like, you got a side job here, Dr. Ross? She's like, no. No, I don't.
No,
Student must have left it here.
Mm-hmm. Know what you're talking about.
And then she goes, Romanoff gets a call from Fury. He says, hey, you in a secure location? She goes, not really. She goes, Barton's dead. So it hit her kind of hard because we know they were close through later movies. And she goes, who do I kill?
Instantly.
Yep. Looks like his and Stark's murders are connected. By what? Fury goes, the Avengers Initiative. Seems our killer is going after the candidates. And, they want to hamstring S.H.I.E.L.D. And she goes, okay, who's the other candidates? He goes, that's the thing, Banner and you. He says, you need to get yourself above ground, but first find Banner. And she says, funny thing, boss, I think I already have. She sees this closet. And Betty's like, you can't go in there. That's where I keep my stuff. And then all of a sudden, she threatens Betty, and out pops Bruce's head. And he's like, no need for violence, Dr. Romanoff. And it's Mark Ruffalo's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that's
I'm
probably
catching
not
up
gonna
on
work out.
the Easter eggs page here. I'm looking through Screen Rant, and that's what they're talking about is, the general. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking out loud.
It's scary. Next thing you know, you hear Natasha hears something, and you hear like this kind of rumble. She's like, "We need to go now." You hear these helicopter blades, and then you see. I love this scene because you see a single truck driving along, and you see the Watcher in the background.
Pervert.
He likes to watch.
It's in the name.
Yeah, and he's like, "It's Coulson." He goes, "What's your 20, Coulson?" He's like, "I'm right here. I had to get some coffee."
Do they not have coffee at their whatever?
Apparently, not a good one.
No.
All the shit in the vehicle starts flying up, and then we see I forget what they call it. It's the circle that appears whenever the Asgardians travel.
In the Bifrost.
Is it the Bifrost? Yeah, it's the Bifrost. I love this and then you see this shadow of all these pikes up in the air and everything, like hundreds of them. And he's like, "What is it?" And he's like, "It looks like they're from, like an army." And he's like, "From where?" "From Middle Earth." He goes, "From Middle Earth?"
Well, because Lord of the Rings is canon, that exist in the MCU because of Falcon Winter Soldier, because Bucky was talking about reading Tolkien.
Oh, that's right.
And so I think that's a that's a funny
I never
joke,
put that together.
but that's a little nod to that, because I remember that being a big thing, that Lord of the Rings exists in the stories exist in the MCU,
Which is awesome. And then this scene right here, I think this is a great picture. All of a sudden, you see these horns, and we know it's Loki at this point by the armor too. Loki appears, and is that Hiddleston's voice? It sure sounded like it.
It is. They got. I wish I could have it broke down by this, but it is. Yeah, he's done 2 episodes, or doing 2 episodes.
Next thing you know, we see S.H.I.E.L.D. driving out. Their guns are on them. The Asgardians put down, their pikes, and you see the Destroyer armor in the background.
Yep. I love the visual of that.
I did too. That was awesome. Then you see Loki going, "You would do your best to kneel before God." And then you look right there, we see Hogun, and we see Lady Sif. So we know we're going to see the rest of the Warriors 3. He goes, "We don't really do that here, but okay." And he goes, "I am Loki, Crown Prince of Asgard, the rightful king of..." And he starts talking, and then the Jotunheim and the god of... And cell phone starts ringing, and he keeps ringing. He's like, "Mischief, are you going to take that? I'm in the middle of something."
So how did he know about phones?
Because they've been coming to Earth.
Okay, well, that's right. Oh, yeah.
They've been coming to Earth.
This wasn't his first visit. Okay, never mind.
Whatever. Next thing you know, we see Natasha with Bruce on the phone. She's like, "Come on, pick it up, damn it." And they're in this glass walkway, which we saw in the Hulk movie. So it's kind of cool that they're pulling from that now.
Yep, should have known right then what was getting ready to happen.
Yep. And Bruce is like, I'm telling you, you're probably better off on your own. I can't die." And then all of a sudden the military pops up, and you knew Thunderbolt Ross would pop out from here. And there he is.
Let's see if they had the same voice. That was
William Hurt,
I think. Let's see if I can see who does it here. You keep going. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. Fury's phone rings, and he said, "I got a little situation here." And she said, "I've got General Ross, 12 snipers, and a few tanks. What are you dealing with?" And Fury goes, "Space Vikings." And she goes, "Show off." He said, "Handle it, then get him underground."
No, it's not him. They had somebody else do it.
"What are you here for, Mr. Loki?" Loki goes, "Vengeance. An agent of this planet murdered Thor, Odin's son, Crown Prince of Asgard." And then next thing, it's going back and forth in between these. Natasha's yelling at the military, Agent Natasha Romanoff, I got Dr. Bruce Banner in my custody. You need to stand down. They're both up against the window. And you see Banner in the crosshairs. Then he gets shot in the shoulder. And And she's like, don't shoot. And then Thunderbolt Ross is like, stand down. And the soldier's like, it wasn't us.
We didn't do it.
It wasn't us.
God dang it, Carl.
Carl, sorry. And next thing you know, we see like going back and forth, back and forth. Banner starts turning into Hulk. Loki gets handed a box.
Lots of stuff happening with green here.
It
Lots of
is.
green stuff.
And then Fury goes, what's in the box? And he goes, oh, you're about to find out, you fucker.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Hulk starts coming out, and Natasha does this awesome flip through the glass and lands on her feet. And Loki opens up what's in the box, and it starts freezing everything.
Mm-hmm. It's an ice box.
It's an ice box. So next thing you know, Loki is now, it's just a big battle between the two, between Loki just freezing everything.
Hulk smashing everything.
Hulk smashing everything, right. And it's just a battle. I mean, we could explain this to you, but it's a battle.
Ross tries to shoot him with his little pew-pew pistol. Of course, that's not going to do any good.
Nope, we know better.
His girlfriend tries to run up to him, Betty. Natasha does stop him. She tells her, like, the general's not the one who started it. And then, like, well, who did? And this part right here is Hulk starts getting extra swole.
He'd been working out.
And I knew what was going to happen. Okay, I'm going to pause it so I can tell you. So I was watching this with my 5-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk is his favorite. Right. And he's like excited because he saw, cool new animated Hulk. So he's all into it. And when he got shot, I'm like, crap, Hulk's going to die. Then he starts swelling up. He's like, oh, he's really hulking out. I'm like, yeah. You see Hulk getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then he explodes. And my son's like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, Hulk just exploded.
And, when Babe breaks down, it's like, but he can't die. He can die. And my son looks at me like, he can't die, can he? And I'm like, I think he just did. Like, I'm not going to shoot. Like, this isn't. Yeah, I like.
What are you going to do at that point?
He exploded, man. Like, he extra hulked out. He's like, oh, man. I was like, well, this is the one off. This isn't like, this doesn't really happen. Like, none of it really happens, but this didn't really happen also more than the stuff that, trying to explain a what if episode to a 5-year-old ended up taking up like half the episode from this point on.
What can you really do at that point?
Nothing. I'm like, oh, he's dead, dude. Game over, man.
Game over, man. I mean, there is not a damn thing you can do at that point.
Mm-mm. So now we got Fury and Loki, trying to work out an alliance. Loki kind of gives him an ultimatum. Basically tells him he has until the next rise of Midgard's son to find his brother's assassin. So he's giving him overnight to find out who killed Thor, or he said he will reduce the. Let me go back here too. There was something I think I caught on this. Yeah, right here where it's paused, where it's zoomed in on his face. He's like, or I will reduce this planet to ash and ice. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the visual of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he says ash and ice. One side of his face is bright and yellow, like it's, hot. And the other side is
like
blue.
Almost blue looking. Yeah, that is cool.
Ash
the shadow.
Mm-hmm. Possibly.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't catch that.
No. It might be a thing.
It might. Who knows? With Disney, who knows, man?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, there are where any good superhero goes, the public library, to solve crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, we see Natasha's in there. And we don't actually see her yet, but we hear Coulson on the phone with Natasha. I love this part. Coulson, why do you need my password? And Natasha goes, I need it to get into the Avengers Initiative files. But I'm locked out of the system and wanted for murder. And Coulson goes, I'm not telling you my password, Romanoff. And Natasha goes, why not? He goes, because I'm not. Coulson, Clint was your friend too. And there's a silence. And then all of a sudden, you hear the sigh from Coulson. He goes, hashtag Steve, Steve, Steve. I heart Steve. 0704. And if you remember,
Well, he
Go
was
ahead.
obsessed. Like he had the trading cards. He had. You think that's what it was?
yeah,
What was the 0704 though?
I think that's the date the movie came out. Was the November 4th.
Well, November would
I'm
be
looking.
11. Oh, July. Oh, never mind. 0704.
Or not November.
4th of July.
Yeah, July. Yeah, 4th of July.
So it's a very patriotic number that he threw in there with it.
I'm looking to see what date. It was released July 22nd. No, it was just a patriotic number.
Yeah, he went with 4th of July. To end.
Hashtag Steve. I heart Steve. 070 or 0704. That was awesome. I mean, I lost it at that point. And Natasha's just like, wow, good one, Coulson. He's like, no, nothing. That's great. Thank you. She's into the files. And next thing you know, we see someone starting to walk up on her. You knew she was going to get killed here.
Mhm.
She turns around. No one there.
Nobody.
Darkness.
So
He goes
here's
back.
this one. We get a good scene because she's accessing all the files here. And there's Coulson, Fury, Janet Van Dyne. Crap.
Yep. Okay. So that's kind of important right here.
Yeah.
Okay. so
Maria
it's-
Hill and Alexander Pierce. So it's cool that Pierce was on there.
Oh, it was.
Mhm.
As the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, so there's Pierce. We know all these characters, and then if you notice, Janet Van Dyne had the big X over her.
Mhm.
We know Janet Van Dyne is the original Wasp, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yep.
So at this point, they don't know she's alive because we haven't had Ant-Man and the Wasp yet.
They do have her list. Yeah, they got her list as deceased on there. I've got a screenshot of it pulled up, looking at it right now. Everybody's
He's
active
like-
except her.
And she goes, well, how did a woman who's listed as deceased access the database 2 days ago? And then Natasha stands up. She goes, you won't win. Not against me, not against S.H.I.E.L.D. And Natasha's fighting. She starts calling Fury, and she's getting her ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Fury, you found me. You know what to do. And as Natasha's fighting, she
Shit
is
kicked out of her.
Yeah. She goes, Fury, it's hope. It's all about hope. It was at that point that I knew what it was. Who the killer was.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
You want to explain your thought process now, or you want to wait till it gets revealed?
So what I thought at the point, because then we hear, Fury listening, it's hope. It's all about hope. Hope is the name of the new Wasp.
Mhm.
Janet Van Dyne was there as deceased. I'm like, it's got to be Hank.
Yep. Not Frank.
Pym.
Not his cousin.
Not Frank. Not his cousin Frank Pym.
Yeah.
Would you care to explain this part, sir?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll explain it.
I was on the phone with Chris. I was in the middle of the episode. I was going to point out way before this part of the episode, like way before, probably a good, 10, 15 minutes ago. And well, actually, yeah, before that. So way before this, I was like, oh, it's Frank Pym. And he was like, who? You know what I'm talking about? They're talking nanotech and shrinking down, and like I'm going on this whole thing. He's like, "You mean Hank?" Yeah, I do, Dick.
And then we came up with this whole Frank Pym is his cousin that, never could catch a break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he shrinks stuff, but it's like cows and like corn. It's like micro farming.
Yeah, and it's like everyone's like, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "It's for my miniatures."
Mm-hmm. Has like a model train in his basement. Choo-chooing around. Yeah. Well,
Frank
anyway,
Pym.
you knew what I was thinking.
I know
and I gotta-
exactly what you were thinking, but I'm just remembering the awkward silence that was on the phone for a minute, and then I go, "You mean Hank?"
I still guessed it first.
You did. You did. You guessed it was.
couldn't
Frank
let me
Pym
have my
before
glory.
Everyone else.
Couldn't let me have my glory. That's cool. Okay, so what was the name of the restaurant that he was at?
I don't know, but this is the one in New Mexico where Thor is like, "I'll have another one of these," and throws it down for the pancakes and the coffee.
I heard it, Arturo's. Is that where
Arturo's.
is he in there? I thought this was really cool, like because you can see off in the distance the
Iceberg.
iceberg where everything's freezing, and then like the contrast of it with the like the lighting in this was really cool. Like this scene, like I'm positive here because I'm gonna talk about because I thought it was really cool. You have like the downtown, you have the ice in the back, and you have the glowing here. So the way they did the colors is awesome.
I agree.
Like everything stands out. After like you can go a little bit further, you know, you had the neon lights, this cool, just glowing little restaurant. And from the color scheme, I'm really thinking that Mephisto is in the back
God
grilling
bless
steaks. Because there's a lot of red and a lot
There's
of
a lot of
orange.
red. Yep. It's called Arturo's is actually Arturo Mephistos.
Arturo
God dang it.
Mephistos. Yep.
He gets me you think I'd be ready for him?
Subs and steaks. When he sells.
Think I'd be ready for this shit, but no.
I thought you caught on like right off the bat right then.
No, I didn't. Not on this one. I was like, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, so the picture, it looks like those old watercolor pictures that they do. Like the old oil
standing in front of a diner and
yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
Nope. Mephisto. 100%.
Mephisto. He goes, there's one name, it's Coulson and Fury talking. He goes, there's one name left on the list, sir. And he said, he was pointing, it's Nicholas J. Fury. And he goes, I'm not the only Avenger left. And Fury looks to the top of the paper.
What's there? Can we see it?
From the
Director.
Avengers. From the desk of director Nick Fury, Strategic Homeland, blah, blah, blah. Memorandum for record.
Doesn't really look like anything important.
No.
Subject, active duty, something. Agents.
But it got Fury thinking of something. That's all that matters.
Yeah, once he gets to thinking.
He's at thinking. Something that we forgot to mention is that Loki gave Fury. No, it's right here. He does. He goes to his glove box and and takes out the beeper, and Coulson goes, "Is that a beeper from the 90s? The souped up one that we know is the same one that he used to summon Captain Marvel."
Yep.
Coulson, is that a beeper from the 90s?
I wonder if we can find a replica of one of those for sale.
We need to try and do it.
I'd like to have one.
He goes, hope. It's all about hope. And his eye gets real big. He goes, widow.
I like how you were actually, yeah. His eye got really big.
Well, it's true. It's his eye got
the
big.
one. Yeah, I know, but still.
He's only got one. His eye got big. He's driving. He's driving along. I love this. I just think this part looked cool. He's driving up, and then you see the destroyer armor right there. Completely dark. And he walks up, no fear. And I mean, that thing towers over him. And he's like, you got a name, soldier? All of a sudden, the destroyer armor activates. He said, I'm here to see your boss. Then Thursday. There's the Watcher again, watching.
Hanging out like a prevert.
You would think all these people, well, and we forgot to mention too that Loki gave Fury, what was it, 24 hours?
Yeah, well, no, not even that. He gave him overnight.
Overnight to find his killer, or else he's going to reduce everything. We forgot to mention that. Next thing we know, we see someone coming up on Hope Van Dyne's grave, which is beloved daughter, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hope wasn't supposed to have died.
That's the divergence point.
So which means that with the Avengers there in our universe, Hope still lived. This one, Hope died.
Yep, we lost all hope.
We lost all hope. Wah, wah, wah.
No Avengers, no hope.
No hope. And then there's Fury said, well, it isn't Hank Pym, not Frank Pym.
Not Frank.
But Hank.
I still think Frank had a hand in it.
I think so too. Had a hand. Hey, he said the balls you have to come here and stand over her grave. And he looks, and you look at the costume, and I'm like, I knew right away. I'm like, that's the Yellow Jacket costume. And you look, and it's a combo of the Ant-Man, the Wasp, and the Yellow Jacket costume.
Ooh, I didn't even catch that.
See, look at the colorings.
Yeah, I saw
That's
there's
the
some
yellow jacket. You see, like the helmet's the Ant-Man. And then, like the basic shape of it is like the wings for the Wasp, the back.
That's cool. And they did get Michael Douglas to voice him again.
Oh, really? It was him.
Yep.
And Hank's pissed. He's like, he knows that he blames Fury for the death of Hope. And he's like, you left out how she died the same way her mother did, doing S.H.I.E.L.D.'s dirty work. So it's Hank getting revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, and that gave you permission to murder them. Anthony Stark, Clint Barton, Bruce Banner, Natasha Romanoff. And he goes, you took everything from me. And it shows the needle going in, and then it shows him injecting and going into Tony's body. Shows him hitting Hank's or Barton's hand, causing it to release the arrow. See him coming out from Clint's neck. See him going into Banner's body with that bullet, throwing one to the enlargement disc at his heart, and then shrinking down and fighting Natasha.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and then what about the Asgardian? He's like, Goldilocks, you wouldn't have recruited him in a heart.
Yeah, you would recruit him right away. And that's what you do. You get S.H.I.E.L.D. always gets other people to fight their battles.
And that's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of what happens. And so this part threw me off.
I knew what this was the minute that first hit was.
I didn't, because I was thinking like, was there something else? Okay, that little flip he did over Hank though was
awesome.
Like,
Matrix.
I was gonna say very Matrix-esque.
Every time.
But like when he was fighting, when they said there's still one Avenger, or you're the last Avenger left, like, and does he have some kind of like powers in this one that we didn't know about? Is what I thought at first.
Well, he was the leader of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And then every time he went small, he got smacked, and then he was just beating him with one hand. Fury was.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what it was from the get-go. Then like we see like the Yellow Jacket blasters, the helmet going over him. He's like, you're supposed to be a killer? Well, come on then, kill me. And I'm like, oh shit, that is a very, very Loki-like line. Because you remember Fury went to go see Loki, and then Fury starts disappearing everywhere. I'm like, this is Loki.
Yeah,
and
I didn't figure it out until all the Furies appeared.
Yeah, and then we're disappearing.
Just like Loki's favorite thing to do is to make a bunch of himself.
Yep. When then Fury appears in the air as Hank's trying to get away. Freight gets frozen. They're all laughing. And
all doing
they
Loki
grab a
poses.
Staff.
Yep.
All hail Loki. And then Fury pops up and Hank goes, what's with the goth kid?
I loved that line.
It was awesome. And Fury's just explaining people are willing to, that's what S.H.I.E.L.D. is, people willing to give their lives for something bigger. Save the world from men like you. Agent Hope Van Dyne understood that, and she will never be forgotten. And Hank's like, then you honor her. Just very poetic. He's like, then honor her.
Mm-hmm.
Loki, well, then this was an absolute pleasure. Director Fury's like, good, now take your hammer and get off my planet. And Loki's like, about that, we should be allies. I just had an idea. I'm thinking I might extend my stay here on Midgard. Fury's like, for how long? And the next thing you know, it's Friday.
Mm-hmm. It's been a really weird week.
This is the worst week ever.
Yeah.
Then they're at the UN, and everyone's sitting down, but you see the Asgardian warriors up there, and basically President Loki's there. He's like, good evening, my loyal subjects. And it was great pride that I stand before you today to announce that just one day's time, the nations of Earth have put aside their differences and united under my command. So without Thor there, Loki took over the planet. Without the Avengers there to stop him, Loki wins.
Yep. that was the true end outcome.
The bright lure of freedom. You know, you were made to be ruled. It's Loki's speech.
Yeah.
So I've come to help you fulfill your destiny. And then that just look into that and that smile into the camera.
That was so well drawn.
Next thing you know, we see Fury and Coulson. The Avengers fell before they had a chance to rise, and we see all these coffins with all their little Avengers icons on there. Thor's hammer, Hawkeye's arrow, you know, Widow, the Black Widow symbol, just all of them. Hulk's fist, and he's like, "We will find our heroes." And this whole time, I looked at Lily and I go, "You know, Steve hasn't been in this the whole time."
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, "Oh, I get where this is going now." Next thing you know, Fury's on this ship in the Arctic, super cold, and he shines his light, and then there's the shield under ice. It's like, as long as someone keeps their good eye on the bigger picture, welcome back, Captain. And he, next thing you know, and then we see this glow, and we see Captain Marvel. They're saying, "Where's the fight?" So now he's got two Avengers, and he has the most powerful Avenger there.
Yeah, I like what these sit here. I'm taking this off a Screen Rant. It said, you know, Danvers suddenly emerges behind Fury and asks, "Where's the fight?" which mirrors her response to the pager in the post credits of Captain Marvel, where she opened with, "Where's Fury?"
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Mhm.
So, all in all, it was a very good episode.
It was. I liked it. I
It
liked
wasn't
it
the
a
most
lot.
exciting episode.
No, I'm still in a toss up between.
Two's still my favorite.
Yeah. Which one was? Is this the
second
third one
one.
or the fourth one? This is the third one.
This
Okay,
is the
yeah.
third
So
one, yeah.
yeah, the second one's still my favorite. This one's like right
Star-Lord one.
behind it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Star.
The Captain Carter was my least favorite out of all three of them.
Yeah.
Still liked it,
No, I didn't dislike any of them.
but if I had to rank them, that's how I'd rank them.
And I like how they're throwing like extra twists in these. You have your normal what if, like, well, what if this? And I think, unless I'm just missing something, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The first episode only had like kind of one twist ish
Yep.
in
Yep.
it. Now, 2, you had the mainline twist of T'Challa being Star-Lord, but then you had the Thanos twist as
Mhm.
well. So this one, you had the twist of, you know, everybody's dying off and how they died off, but then you have Loki at the end. That's your secondary. That's like your bump. So this kind of, you know, this is like Marvel Twilight Zone.
It is Marvel Twilight Zone.
I think
That's the best way to describe it.
Mhm.
So, what did you all think?
Yeah,
Let us know your thoughts.
Hop in the Discord. We've got a channel just for, like, specifically to discuss these episodes if you guys want to and argue with us and tell us what we got wrong. We miss stuff
We did.
all the time. Constantly.
And Hughes and Chove and B Rob and J Love are more than happy to call it out.
Yeah. And we're happy
Um,
to hear it. You know,
and props is too when he's caught up, but he's not caught up.
he's
So,
going to catch up. I bet he catches up pretty quick because he's on it now.
I know he is, but I can call him out on this right now.
You know, for now.
For now,
we're
because
saying this-
he's going to start calling us out.
By the time this releases, though, because we're, you know, this will be a couple weeks behind the actual release of the What If episode. He may be caught up by then. We may be eating our words at that point.
Oh, we always eat our words.
Mm-hmm. And they're delicious.
So yummy. So, we have some big stuff coming up. By the time you listen to this will be well into September.
Mhm.
October, we're planning a bunch of spooky episodes, spooky theme-based episodes.
Yep. It's spoopy time coming up. My
Spoopy
favorite time
time.
of year.
And I'm excited. I mean, we've got one drawn out so far that I know of, and we need to fill 3 other weeks now
Mhm.
with spooky topics. But I think,
Oh, I lost you there for a second.
oh,
Okay, you're back.
There we go.
Yeah. You cut out for a brief second.
Yeah, I kicked the cable again.
Don't
like I
do
always
that.
do. But I think you had a couple of stuff you wanted to do.
Yeah, we got some things. I don't want to jinx it and talk about it now. Then
No. We don't.
we
Definitely
got
don't.
we got some fun stuff in the works, so I'm excited for it.
It'll be a lot of fun. So, yeah, you guys just let us know what you think. If there's future stuff you all would like us to cover, it doesn't have to be movies and TV. If it's some subject you all want us to cover, let us know. That's the whole purpose of the show. If whatever someone geeks out about, nerds out about, that's what we will talk about. Anything. If you have a dildo collection that you want to talk about, Cole, we'll talk about it.
We may not do an episode on it.
Well, we may not do video on it. This is the worst Star Wars cosplay ever. Oh, look, Chris is playing Darth Maul again. Goo, goo.
General Grievous.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You're terrifying.
We got our dick joke in.
We did. We almost didn't get it in there. Like right at the very end, we just slid it right in. Just
pow, right in the kisser.
Pow, right in the
So, with that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. Wherever you guys are, have a good evening, morning, night, whatever it is, and be good to each other.
See ya.
Bye.
Nerd Coke, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerd Coke, rise up. It could get